1.6 billion. Ninaona mashinani kutakuwa na mahospitali mingi kama ile president wetu alikuja kufungua. Kitu ingine, tutakuwa na bursaries. Tulikuwa tunapewa 5,000. Sasa tutakuwa mtoto analipiwa yote, itakuwa 30,000, 10 kuendelea. So ninashukuru sana, nikiambia wabunge tafadhali, ningewaomba wapitisha hii kitu ili mashinani wa jiko kama mimi niendelee kufaidika na wale wengine. Ninashukuru sana, nikiangalia kama hizo 12 constituencies zitaongezwa, sitakuwa na 100 million. So ikiwa kama 12 sitakuwa na 1.2 billion. Kwa hivyo pesa ikijaa mashinani, tutakuwa tunafaidika kama Wajiko. Nirudi niseme, katika handshake, niliona handshake ilileta amani. Kwa sababu wakati tulikuwa tunapita, unaona mtu anakuita Ukuyu, mwingine anakuita Jaruo. Saa hii handshake ilileta amani. So ninaomba hii bill iko sawa kwangu na ni 100%. Asanteni chairman, nimeshukuru.
Kwa majina naitwa Beatrice Wayeko. Bila nilikuwa nimesema, mimi ni mama wa Nairobi, natoka Kawangware, vitongoji duni, mahali inaitwa Soko Mjinga. Mimi nitasimama na mambo ya PPI. Nimefurahia sana, sisi watu wa Kawangware tuko na furaha kubwa sana kwa mambo ya handshake. Sisi tumesimama na handshake kwa sababu ya wakati wanapika kura, wanapika kura wanakuwa na vyama kama 2, 4, 5. Chama yenye imepita upresident, kwa sababu tumewekea diet, uwezi toka kwa sababu wewe ni kabila fulani, huku pika kura mahali fulani. Uwezi nunua kitu kwa duka kwa sababu wewe huku pika kura mahali fulani. Ninafurahia sana mambo ya PPI. Mimi naiunga mkono kwa sababu itafanya watoto wetu watatembea vizuri, watoto wetu watasoma, tutashikana mikono, tutakuwa na umoja, tutakuwa na amani, tutatembea popote Kenya, kila mtu atajisikia ako huru kwenda mahali popote. Akitaka kununua mahali pale atafurahia, ataenda na aishi mahali pazuri na tukua kitu kimoja. Ninaomba MP wote, wa mama, wa baba, tafadhali mpigie BBI kura na ipite. Tunaona tutakuwa na amani, tutaishi maisha ya kawaida kama watu wengine, tutaishi kama wasungu. Kwa sababu ni tulikuwa na shida kubwa yenyewe. Kama mimi mtu wa Kawangware, najua kila mtu anajua Kawangware vile iko. Moto inawaka kila mahali. Tunashindwa tutafanya nini? Lakini ninashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu mwenye alipitia kwa Mheshimiwa Uhuru na Mheshimiwa Raila, wakashikana mikono, walimaliza uhasama. Watoto wetu wataishi maisha mazuri. Sisi wenyewe tutafungua maduka. Mimi huyu nauzanga njugu. Sasa mimi nilikuwa nimekosa hata mahali pa kutembea niuze njugu. Lakini wakati wa sasa ninausia kila mtu njugu. Hata nyinyi mkitaka saa hii niko nazo nitawapea mnikule. Na ninaomba ya pili iko hivi. Pasari, MP wetu na MCA. Hii BBI itafanya wapate pesa mingi. Tusiwe tukiwasumbua kila wakati kwa ofisi. Tunaendanga, tunawasumbua hata wengine wanatutoroka. Kwa sababu hawana pesa. Na kwa hakika tunaona hawana pesa. Tunaomba tu, hii pesa itafika kila mahali. Itafikia MP, pasari zitakuwa na pesa mingi, watoto wetu watasoma, hatutawasumbua tena. Na sisi wenye tunafanya biashara ya jini, tutakuwa na pesa yetu ya kuweka kwa mfuko. Wamama wenye wako chini kabisa kama mimi mwenye nauza njugu mwenye sijulikani, nitajulikana kwa sababu nitakuwa na kitu ya kukula. Watoto wangu hawatakuwa kwa street, watakula na waende shule. Kwa hivyo ninaomba tu mpigie BBI kura na ipitishwe. Tumefinyika kwa siku mingi, tumefinyika sana. Watu wa kutoka Western, tukienda njia ya kuenda Naivasha tunashindwa tutapita wapi, panga ziko hapo. Lakini wakati wa BBI na wameshikana mikono, tutakuwa sawa, tutatembea na tutakuwa uhuru. Ya tatu, MCA watapewa pesa, hata wale wanapitia kwa pikipiki, wale watanunua gari zao na watembelee. Sina mengi, ni hayo tu, Mungu awabariki.
Mama Yeko, tunataka uishi vizuri, uishi na kama Wajiko na Mkenya maalum, Mkenya yuko na heshima. Hatutaki ukae kama kaburu mzungu. Hatutaki ukae kama mzungu akiwa kaburu. Tunataka ukae kama Wajiko yuko na heshima na anaheshimiwa. katika nchi. Asante sana. Madam Waweru, nafikiri tumemaliza au bado?
Chair, just a little comment. Madam Rachel, when she was introducing your group yake, alisema wanatoka slums. I think Senator Sakaja will agree with me. The term slum is derogatory. Maybe, Rachel, when you're going ahead, you can refer to yourself as coming from Vitongoji Duni. I think that's more acceptable. I don't know what Honorable Sakaja is saying about this.
Chair, you know, no matter what you call it, the situation there is itself bad. And I'm glad that these ladies have come. I know them very well. They truly represent the grassroots. I know each and every one of them. In fact, Rachel used to be my coordinator in Nairobi. And I'm grateful for what they've said. It represents the views of the people. And asanteni sana. And please, Chair, because Mama Njugu has said, just buy some njugu for us as we continue with this set before lunch. As a senator, I will match your purchase.
Chair.
But asanteni Rachel, Maggie from Dandora, she's also from Gikomba, Mama Njugu. I know all of you.
Okay. If I may, Chair. Yes, just very shortly. In as bad as your situation is, the power of life and death is on your tongue. So I want to agree with Honorable Olwach. Perhaps you can refer to where you live as even informal settlements in English.
Karibu Senator Dulo. Karibu kwa committee. Yeah. Okay, kama ume... Are you okay? Any other question or comment? Okay, asante sana kwa kuja. Tumesikia nyinyi na consider your memorandum and your views. Asante sana.
Tunasema ni asanti Chair. Memorandum yetu tumepatiana kwa one of your officers na tunashukuru kwa kupatiwa hata nafasi hii, na pia lugha ambayo tutakuwa tunatumia tutaweza kurekebisha.
Okay, asante.
Tunashukuru sana. Asanti.
Mnaweza enda sasa mkitaka, jueni sasa.
Chair, I can confirm niko na njugu zenu, munione baadaye. Ziko.
Na hiyo kwa kirete jugu tutanunua. Yeah. Labda amemaliza alete zingine. Okay, asante. The next group is you. Karibu Federation. Federation ya Juakari, are you? Yeah, karibu. Welcome to this committee. Of course, you have come in response to the advert that was in the media.
Yes.
Okay. If you can introduce yourself shortly, just briefly, just give your name and the other one, your position, and the other members.
Thank you. Am I allowed to start?
No, just give your name. Give your name, so for the record.
Okay. My name is Teresia Mwangi from Kenya National Federation of Juakari. Kenya National Federation of Juakali is an umbrella organization for many Juakalis in Kenya. In its
Kenya National Federation of Juakali Associations.
Who else is there? Any other member?
Yes. My name is Lucy Muchoki. I came with Kenya National Federation, but I represent Kenya Agribusiness Alliance, which is a leading agro-processor membership organization with more than 1.2 million members, comprised of individuals and cooperative society. The Alliance is also a member of the recently established Agricultural Sector Network, which is the largest network of players in the agricultural sector in the country. At the same time, we have come here under Micro Small Enterprise Authority as a team.
Very well. My name is Muturi Kigano. I co-chair this committee with my colleague, Senator Mugedi. Then we have members. On the extreme, at the end there, the gentleman talking is your senator in Nairobi, Senator Sakanja. Then below him is Mheshimiwa Mutai, member for Bread.
Chair, we have two more at the back.
Yeah, that's okay, we'll get it. Then my vice chair here, sorry, I skipped him, is Otiede, member for Radienda. Mutai is member for Bulet. Next to Mutai is Gishimo, member for Gichugu. Aruochi is member for Kisumu West. And on my right is Kamote, member for Rabai. Kiai, member for Mukurweini. Then we have Shamara is member representing special interests. And Senator Dulo is Senator for Isiolo? Yes. I think that's about all. I can see you have two other members. Please state your names.
My name is Richard Ndonda Masai. I represent Kariobangi South, Juakali, as a chairman, and I'm also county vice chairman, Nairobi. Thank you.
My name is James Mwaura Duo, a Kamukoji Juakali Association.
In your memorandum, we have you have 10 minutes.
Yes, I have.
So, because you have a memorandum, state overview on the briefly comment on your memorandum. 10 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Within the confines of the BBI.
Thank you.
Try as much as possible not to go to outside matter, external matters.
Yes, I know that I'm not going to go in details, but one thing we want to say that we support the BBI. We also support the handshake because in the BBI, we have gone through the draft and we have seen what is there for the informal sector, especially the SMEs. We have seen about the shared responsibility, the economy, and also the small and medium enterprises has been taken very seriously. Most of the time when we have the problem with the economy of Kenya, especially when you are having the elections, we normally lose a lot of business, especially the informal sector. And we know that after we pass this BBI, according to what we have seen the draft, there is no any other time the SMEs are going to suffer because of their business. We have seen that about the Biashara Mashinani business introduction centers. We have seen most of the Juakari do not even know how to file their taxes. And when the Biashara Mashinani has been brought to their places where they are working, they are going even to be able to file their taxes. They are going to be trained on how to do innovation of their products. And for 3/4 of this constitution, this draft has really favored the informal sector, especially the SMEs. I want to ask my colleague, Rusi Mushoki, also to talk about agribusiness, because they are also the SMEs, and I know that it has already favored them. The way you have seen, it has favored the Kenya National Federation of Juakari. Karibu Rusi.
Thank you, Tresia, and thank you, honorable members of parliament and senators. I really appreciate this opportunity to share some of these same issues that Madam Teresia has brought up. As mentioned, we are clearly looking at 3 areas that we have really discussed under Micro Small Enterprise Authority, and we have looked at that divisive elections that every now and then, since 2002, it's been the same. All the time before elections and after elections, nobody wants to see the other person. At the same time, our businesses are really affected, and we see that products don't reach the market. That disruption has really costed us. So what we are asking is, if it costs us so much, we lose so much, why would we not want to pay more leaders if this is going to change the scenario? And we are convinced it is going to change, because why people fight and why people disagree and why there's so much tension in the country is because we always feel that some few tribes are taking the seat and there's time to eat, others watching from outside. So therefore, we really support the idea of creation of more positions if this is going to help us, and we believe it is going to help us seize the tension in the country. When I look at the economy and the shared prosperity, this is very, very key to us. Indeed, we've been asking ourselves why it cannot be enacted immediately, because it really takes care of all the issues that we are looking at, that we have been suffering from. For instance, when you look at the enactment of legislation on economy and shared prosperity, it has prioritized the legislation of political issues to ensure SMEs benefit and recover from the effects of COVID-19. These legislations include establishment of one Biashara Mashinani Center, which Madam Tresia mentioned, constituency industrial development centers. This is where our members, they want to have facilities near them. There are also the SME financing, which the Micro Small Enterprise Authority will unlock under the potential of tailor-making the credit facility for small-scale innovators and business owners away from the conventional banking model. We know that MSMEs are not privileged when it comes to accessing credit, and more specifically, the agro-processors, because they're always taken as very risky. So when we look at this kind of support, we really believe this is going to work very well for us. And we are specifically very keen to ensure that the tax holiday, which is a 7-year tax break, to enable the youth who now have become a major crisis. It's a major crisis in our country, and we are trying to attract them in agribusiness. We cannot continue having an average age of 60 years old of farmers when we have millions of our youth out there. So how do we support them? This 7-year tax break indeed will support our youth in ensuring that they come into this sector of agribusiness that we need to grow, and we all know that everything is all about food. When we look at the issue of prompt payments...
Try as much as possible to summarize, because we are running out of your 10 minutes.
Okay. So the prompt payments, this is very important. We know how so many businesses have closed down because of lack of, when they deliver their produce, lack of late payments, cash transfer programs, the NHIF reforms, making sure that at least our businesses continue to grow and our old parents are taken care of. On devolution, the increase of revenues, 15 to 35. I know so many people are asking how is this going to happen, even the 15 has not been easy. We believe in a conducive environment, we'll be able to definitely raise this amount of money, unless we are in a worse zone, but that's not the case. We expect with the improved peaceful environment, we'll be able to raise more funds and support these sectors. Looking at the county industrial parks, this is really the only way that we have seen other countries transform the agribusiness sector, creating the special economic zones, and these are all being mentioned for the first time. So these, your honorable members of parliament and Senate, we want to say we are very grateful, and we believe that this is what is going to change the status quo of this country once and for all. And we believe that for any country to transform, you must really focus on the MSMEs. This is where transformation of any country is achieved, and specifically, I'm so biased towards the agribusiness. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your time.
Members of the Teresia and your colleagues, thank you for finding time to come and for making very candid and very good presentations. Thank you very much. You can leave at your own pleasure.
Chair, may I humbly propose that to save on time, let's go by what Honorable Mutola had said earlier on. To save on time on introductions, let's restrain introductions to yourself and your co-chair only. We are okay the way we are. Then we can save on time.
Chair, how many groups are left?
Chair, they didn't hear you.
We have a number, but I think now waiting is LSK, Jubilee, is it Common Women Agenda, ODM, COG, promoters.
Wiper is here, he can give us his presentation. To save on time. Wiper. You're the spokesperson.
Okay, members of Law Society of Kenya, welcome. I'm sure you are here responding to the advert that was in the newspaper on 5th of March 2021, inviting views on the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020. So this is the sitting of National Assembly Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. To my right is the chair of the committee, Honorable Muturi Kigano, and his members are also present, and my name is Okongo Mogeni. I'm the chair of the Senate Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights. So we are doing a joint sitting to receive views from members of the public, and we are happy to note that you expressed interest to appear before us, and I want to welcome you to Parliament. We have, I think, we have received your memorandum dated when? 10th of March, received in Parliament on 11th of March 2021, but we'll give you maybe 10 minutes to just give us highlights on your memorandum. So I want to invite, I believe, the President to introduce himself and also introduce, not actually to introduce, but allow the other members to also introduce themselves for purposes of record. So, Bwana President.
Chair of this joint committee of Parliament, Honorable Okongo Mogeni, Senior Counsel, honorable members of Parliament, friends and learned friends, I greet you. Good morning. My name is Nelson Harvey. I'm the President of the Law Society of Kenya. I appear together with a number of council members who joined me. Perhaps I could ask them just to introduce themselves, whereafter I will proceed. May I start from that end, coming towards the side?
Honorable members of Parliament, Honorable Senator Okongo Mogeni, good morning. My name is Herin Kabita, Council Member, Law Society of Kenya. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
To the Honorable Chair of the Senate and the Honorable Members of the Senate, good morning. My name is Caroline Mudeu, Council Member. Thank you.
And as you go through protocol, remember these are joint sitting of senators and members of National Assembly. Thank you.
Honorable members of Parliament and the Senate, the joint chairs, good morning. My name is Okenyo Mwansa. I'm a council member, Law Society of Kenya, and I'm glad to be participating in this public event. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Senator Okongo Mogeni, Senior Counsel. Good morning, Honorable Muturi Kigano, my senior in the profession. Good morning, Honorable Senators and members of the National Assembly. My name is Esther Angawa, a Council Member of the Law Society of Kenya.
So thank you. Over to you, Bwana President.
Chairman.
Before you proceed, there is an intervention from Senator Mutula Kilonzo.
Chairman, I have a request. Several members here, including yourself, myself, others, whom the President is representing, is presenting a memorandum on our behalf, the legal profession. Perhaps he may clarify in terms of the professionals, how they requested for our input, so that by the time he makes a conclusion, then he can bind all of us. Otherwise, then it will be a memorandum of the council. The second one, I've just flipped through these memorandums, Chairman, and in view of what the council is presenting, I am requesting that you give them a little more time, because unlike the rest, they are very controversial matters, and which may take more than 10 minutes.
So one, I think Senator Mutula wants to know how you incorporated views of members, and two, he's arguing your case. The president says he's fine, but you're asking for more time. I've not heard him ask for more time, but we'll see. If you need more time, we can accord you some more minutes. Then I saw Honorable Olaga Alwoch. You can have the mic.
Chair, thank you. I've heard, but I think that's preemptory. I suppose that it would be in order for any member of the public, leave alone LSK Council, to present views to this joint committee. And we don't need to ask for time on behalf of Mr. Harvey. I propose that this memorandum, after we can raise issues, if any.
Okay, noted. Honorable Tienda Molo, then Honorable Shamala.
Chair, I would suppose, because the memorandum is actually quite detailed, but of course the chair will ask for himself if he needs more time. But for clarification in terms of consultation to members.
Thank you.
But beyond that, I think that it will behove the chairman also to address us, even for the council, because section 13.1 says the council is the chair, vice chair, and 10 members, whether the memorandum is endorsed by the council.
Honorable Shamala, luckily Otiende Molo served as my council member when I was president of Law Society, so he knows how the council communicates on behalf of members. Honorable Shamala.
Yes, and thank you, Chair. I want to associate myself with the sentiments of Honorable Otiende Molo, and more specifically with regards to this memoranda presented here on and behalf of members of LSK. I do not see in this memoranda where members were consulted and where public participation occurred or when it occurred with the membership of the society.
Any other member?
Chair, I think at this point, let's hear them.
So I think what we do is, let's hear the president. Let's hear what you have in terms of summary of the memorandum. And then at the tail end, you can also shed some light on some of the issues that have been raised by the honorable members, many of whom are your members of your society. So, Madam President, is 10 minutes okay, or you need some little more time as requested by Senator Mutula?
Yes, former president of the Law Society, Senator Okongo Mogeni, Senior Counsel. Thank you. I humbly request this joint committee of parliament to give us slightly more time. I will humbly request for 30 or so minutes. I propose to give the entire fulcrum of our submissions within 10 minutes. Then I allow each of the present council members to submit for 5 or so minutes.
Let's begin with 15. If there is need to add you more, we'll consider.
Thank you, Chair. Members of Parliament, the Law Society is a statutory body established under the Law Society of Kenya Act number 21 of 2014. We received notice through the local dailies published on the 5th of March 2021 to submit views of the Law Society insofar as the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 is concerned. Our submissions are based on 3 fundamental pillars. The first aspect relates to the history of this bill, which I will not take so much of your time to go through. The second aspect relates to the power of Parliament in amending the Constitution, and the third aspect deals with the specificity of the impugned intended amendments. I will start with what we've set out at paragraph 39, that is at page 13. And it is our submission that this bill did not reach Parliament by way of a popular initiative for the reason that it does not conform with the procedure set out under Article 257 of the Constitution for a popular initiative. The bill is for all practical purposes an initiative of the executive, a process hitherto unknown under the Constitution. Parliament is the delegate of the sovereign power of legislation, and Parliament has the authority to interrogate the manner in which this bill was conceived, the processes through which the bill has been taken through, to ascertain whether it meets the constitutional threshold for an amendment. We will conclude by indicating that the bill is manifestly unconstitutional for various reasons, and will plead with Parliament as the custodian of the people's power on legislation to reject this bill in its entirety. Let me highlight just three areas which indicate the manifest unconstitutionality of this bill. I will take you to page 21, where we have enumerated that the bill is unconstitutional because it is for all practical purposes an attempt to bring into place a new constitution altogether, bearing in mind the basic structure of the Constitution of Kenya. Number two, the bill does not conform and seeks to alter the evolved norm of the Constitution of Kenya. Number three, the bill relates to matters which ordinarily ought not to encumber the structure of the Constitution, and some of which relate to issues under the Constitution where courts have given the determination on. In particular, let's consider what the bill seeks to do insofar as the executive is concerned. The bill seeks to create a hybrid executive with a president who is the head of state and government, and a prime minister with two deputy prime ministers who work under the president. Now, the current constitution envisaged a situation whereby there will be a pure presidential system. And this was informed by many years of the quest for reform, culminating in the decision to maintain a pure presidential system. Any attempt to alter that system of the echelon of the executive is so vast in its scope, it cannot be said to be an amendment. Let's look at the cabinet. The cabinet, as currently constituted, is not domiciled in Parliament. Before the promulgation